Okay.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We fooled you this week and decided we are going to do it on Friday instead of Wednesday. Where did our weather go? It's just, is it really spring? Deb, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Laura. I don't know if it's spring or not, but I guess maybe.
Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for all the little flower bulbs that are coming up and they're like freezing, but that's how it is. So, Deb, why don't you talk about our guest today? We're so excited to
Love
have
to,
her.
love to, love to. Okay, so Kim Cosentino we have here today as a guest. And here's the exciting part. When Lori and I started this whole segment, and we've been doing this for I can't even tell you what, 3 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Right when COVID had been really in play, and Lori and I decided we want to do something good and created this for the health and wellness of you. Kim was our first interview because we felt like she had so much to bring there, so much to talk about, her expertise in organization and all this stuff. And then we were blessed to have her again for another segment. And then the other day I was with her and I said, we have got to get you in here for spring, like spring cleanup and spring to-dos and things like that. Because, change of season, so many times we get motivated to do stuff, but sometimes if you're motivated to do it, but you just don't know where to start, you don't know what to do. And here's Kim. She's got the brains behind all of it, the expertise, the many, many years of experience. And so I'm so happy to have Kim Cosentino take time out of her schedule to be with us. She has the business called the Declutter Box. And Kim, I'm going to turn it over to you and say thank you for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. It's wonderful to be the third time. I want to share that I have been in business now for 30 years this fall, which is amazing to me. When I started, there were 25 organizers in the Chicago area. Now there are over 600. I am one of 13 of the top experts in the area. So if you go to my website, you'll see the little symbol on there as well as the different media venues I've been on. Real Simple, Women's Day. I've been on the Bill and Wendy show. Just a number of different opportunities I've had over the last 30 years to share the basics about getting organized. It's just about taking time, even if it's 10 minutes to do one drawer a day or one drawer a week. And you have to realize that sometimes life is overwhelming, but it can be accomplished, and you just need to focus on that one space that overwhelms you the most. And when it reaches the point where you say, "I just can't do it by myself," reach out to a friend or give me a call. That is where I'm at. I love staying in this area. I've lived in Westmont for God, 35, 36 years.
Wow.
So yeah, long time. I'm from Ohio. So, what would you like to know today? What
You
is
know,
important, do you think?
Okay, so being spring and everything like that, if somebody has an overwhelming amount of stuff to do, like, and you talked about taking one drawer at a time or whatever, do you have like a little like guideline on, because it could be a person moving, it could be a person not moving. I mean, what would you do if you came in? What would you say if you came to my house and I said, Kim, help me, I got to get this under control, I'm going to move, put it that way. What would you do?
Well, first we want to know when you're moving, when you're listing your house. If you called me and said I'm overwhelmed, and I hear that a lot when people call me or email or text me, whatever, I say, where are you overwhelmed the most? What is the one area that when you get to that space, you use it all the time, but you don't feel like you have control of it? And then uh, many times people have the answer. It can be their wardrobe, paperwork. Uncle Charlie unpacked my kitchen when I was pregnant and we moved into this house and I have no idea where things are. So I get answers like that. And then I know where to focus on. But then I am really taking in the information as we are looking at that space. I never throw away anything without the person's approval unless it's obvious garbage, because you never know what is important to them. So I am working with you to set up a system, to put structure into place, and to also set limits as to what you have. And so let's say it's in the kitchen pantry and I open the pantry and, cereal boxes are all over the place. So then we pull them out. Half of them are empty because the kids just put them back or throw them in, or there's one shredded wheat left. And then we usually label. Communication is very important in the organizing process. So I always tell people to label, and also if the other family members or people they live with aren't living with them, explain to them that we are going through this process. You took the time and money to make this space organized, and actually show them what you've done so that it will make life easier for them. If you involve the family in an area that everyone uses, like the garage or the family room or an office space, then everybody buys into keeping it organized. What we do though, if it is the pantry, think of it as your grocery store and the aisles in your grocery store. So you have a baking shelf, you have a breakfast shelf. Don't narrow it down into simple little cereal. Make it breakfast. You'll have canned goods, and usually that's where you want to read labels. So that's usually at eye level. When
Mhm.
do you bake often, or do you bake not too often? Then maybe it's on the top shelf. Is it things that snacks the kids can get into that are little people? Put it on the bottom shelf. But if you want to serve it to them, you put it at the higher shelf. So it depends on how you operate in that space. And I'm asking a lot of questions to tailor make our system to fit your needs. And then when I leave, it's easy for you to maintain, but communication is very important.
That's awesome. I have one more question, then I'm gonna turn to Laura for questions. Here's a question for you. So I just went through this and I've been doing file purging because I filed
Fun.
like crazy. And I'm telling you, I started to think about it. Like our age, we would save everything but now everything's so digital that we can get another copy if we need it. Okay. So I literally went through old tax returns that were from my kids were in high school. My kids are in their 30s. They were in high school, things like that. Got rid of all that. Do you have any rule of thumb for like the home office space with file cabinets? Any good
Oh, this
suggestions?
is great question right now. April 15th, we're supposed to get our taxes in and give the government some money or hopefully get some back. Um, the rule of thumb for keeping paperwork that goes with your tax returns is to keep it for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
If you are expecting any money back and you haven't gotten it, you've made a claim with the IRS, then or there's let's say you choose not to file, but you have all the information, you want to hold that for 7 years. And any paperwork, we're only talking about paperwork that goes with your tax return. So it's anything that's a tax deduction and your pay stubs. If you have a certain profession, like you're a lawyer or a doctor, and there may be litigation going on with your company that you're involved with, or you yourself, you're going to want to keep that for at least 10 years. Some people, as a general rule, says they feel that, okay, the government can come back at me at some point. Sometimes they'll just settle with 7 years. But legally, we're at 3 years because once you file a claim, then you're at 2 years, and it really depends on how long that claim lasts. You really want to, though, when it comes to items that are not for your tax return, and you need to hold on to them because they describe who you are or what you have of value, and you want to hold on to them in a space where the fire or if we had a tornado in the area, they wouldn't be destroyed because they are hard to replace. What I'm talking about is your birth certificate, to the title to your car, the closing papers to your house. If you have anything of value that you purchased, that is over $200, you want to keep the receipt for that, so that if something does happen to your house, you can prove to insurance, I have the $5,000 TV from 2 years ago. Of course, they're going to depreciate it, but you have the receipt to show what you paid for it. So
Mhm.
all those high-end items you may have in your home. Because truly, insurance will ask you how many white pair of underwear you have and how many blue pair of underwear you have. And they want every single detail, and it can be very overwhelming. So you really are looking at those big ticket items and then the paperwork that describes who you are and what you have of value that you want to hold in a fire safe box, a safety deposit box. If you're watching this and you say, oh my God, I never thought of that, put it in your refrigerator. When my son was 5, we went to the fire department and they had to talk. And they said, if there's a tornado or a fire, number one, your refrigerator will survive. It may land, 2 doors down, but you will be able to find it. And especially put your car key in there. Because if you don't grab your purse or your car keys, you're able to find your refrigerator. And then you have your car key, and the car may be turned over, but you may still be able to drive it.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
thought that was and that was 30 years ago when we got that little talk. And I held on to that information because I thought, you never know. You never know when that will happen, right?
Right?
Laura, do you have any questions? I mean, that was really
Yeah, I do. Laundry. Okay.
Laundry. Yes.
Laundry, because, I'm not saying it's me, I'm not saying who it is or whatever, but I just noticed that especially a lot of these young people they're working so much and they just put their laundry stuff aside. It's not a priority. And then all of a sudden they have an abundance of laundry and they don't know what to do. What do you suggest that they do?
Well, first of all, they now say you can do every color together.
Right.
It really depends on how much. My daughter, and I love this, every week she comes and does the laundry by me. And that way we visit and she stays overnight. We do fun things. But I would say at a certain point, I do go into homes where people don't want to do the laundry and they just buy more. So they
Right.
buy more underwear, more jeans, gets to the point where it's very overwhelming. So again, when you reach the point of overwhelm and you don't know what to do, you need to reach out to somebody and say, hey, you know what? I'll buy you pizza, come help me. Or you reach the point where you don't have somebody, you might call somebody like me to come in, make sense out of what you have because you've accumulated so much. Some of that may be things we need to weed out. Maybe we need a different system in your closet. A lot of people don't like to hang things up. I've put in shelves, just those freestanding shelves you buy at Target or Home Depot, where the jeans go on one shelf, the shirts go on another shelf, and you don't have to worry about opening a drawer. It's just putting it on the shelves, which makes it a little easier. Um, Things like that happen sometimes because there's overwhelming things that are happening in their life too. There could be depression. There could be just, I'm working 80 hours a week. I have no time. So you really want to look at where am I at? Can I set aside and make an appointment with myself and then look at if I go to the laundromat with all this, I could get my nails done next door or grab a cup of coffee at a place I really enjoyed. Or can I get together with a friend? Or is it something that I really need to go further and look into how to get help?
Mm-hmm.
So there are many reasons things happen.
That's good.
Yeah, that was a very good answer. Thank you very much. I can't think of anything else, Deb. What do you have anything?
I can't think of anything else. I just want to say, I know from looking from the outside into Kim is very well rounded with what she does. I mean, Kim, you help people organizing, but you help people with, estate sales and you're on the marketplace. And so I just want to say that if anybody out there is really looking and needs the assistance and help, you can fully trust Kim. Kim, I've had conversations with Kim and she's so down to earth. She's non-emotional, meaning that when she's with someone, she puts them first, obviously, because she wants to help them work through their situation, especially if you've got things like you don't know, do I save this? Do I not save this? This means something to me. This is important. Like she knows how to walk you through it. And so sometimes we need that person there to do that with us so that we can help think clearer, So Kim, I know you do a fantastic job. And so I'm just very happy that you were able to be with us and talk about all your stuff. And can you just tell everybody a little bit too, just real quick about like, you have a great website, you've got information on there. If somebody wants to contact you, how you, what you do, your first steps, do you arrange an appointment or how do you do it?
Well, first of all, what you were talking about, when I work with people, I ask them to ask themselves, do you use the item, need the item? Do you enjoy the item? Is that why you're keeping it? Maybe it's something grandma gave you. And if you want to hold on to it, that's fine.
Mhm.
And you should, because what warms your heart is important. If you come to my house, you will not see a sparse house. You will see everything I love and use and enjoy. And I choose sometimes in certain areas of my home, will grab one of my kids to help me. So it is hard to make decisions about yourself. I'd ask yourself, do I use, need, enjoy is very important. When you are looking to contact me, usually people will call, go to declutterbox.com. My office number is 630-968-7557. I try to get back to people within 24 hours. I've installed shelving. I do staging for people's homes. Um, when they are putting it on the market. And really, it's about decluttering. You're selling your space, not your stuff. So I'm helping you look at that when you walk in the door, and we do it together so you understand. And again, can maintain what we set up when we do things. But I am listening to you. I am listening to your needs. I'm listening to how you want to operate and how things are flowing in your space. So I ask a lot of questions when we work together so that what we are doing together will work. Life is always changing, though. So when I leave, you're going to change some of the things that we do as you're operating in whatever space we do work in. And you have to realize when there's a life change, you're going to change things. Maybe you're going to remodel. Maybe there's a baby that's now, or somebody else comes to live with you, or you are downsizing, especially with downsizing. I'm working with people to make those choices. What do they typically need? How big is their space? And when we do a moving sale or an estate sale, if somebody passes away, we do have a minimum fee, but we are trying our best to sell your items. And I will go through and let you know what the current value is, because that's a real shock to people. Over COVID, there were so many houses in our area that between Evanston and Naperville, there were 150 professionally run sales
Wow.
every weekend. So those, and even now when I put things on Marketplace, a couch for $100, people want to know, is it a Stickley? Which is a very high. Walter E. Smith, is it a $5,000 couch I can get for 100? Can
Yeah.
I get it for less? So
Yeah.
I think people who are selling need to realize the environment is different when it comes to stuff these days.
Yeah.
If you collect any kind of knickknacks, the value of them, because people just don't want them anymore, your yadros. So again, keep those things you use, need, or enjoy. And when it's those collectible things, you keep them because you enjoy them, not because of the value of them money wise, but because of the value of them in your heart.
That's a good answer. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, Laura, do you have anything else? Because
No, I just think about, I'm just laughing and thinking about, Everyone Loves Raymond episode when they put all the stuff out and, they had a sale in their yard. And between Raymond and his brother, they're like taking everything back, you
I
know?
know.
It reminds you about what it would be like, you know? No, you can't have that. No, no, this is too sentimental. And they kept getting taking stuff back.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about.
Well, then you do realize what's in your heart, though. In fact, when I started my business, because I was dealing with people with children too, we'd have a donation bags, or boxes. We put them in the garage, and then they come back, call me to come back to do another space, and somebody went shopping. Usually, it was the children.
Yeah, right.
And I learned I
that's
take donation for people if they want to. And there's just so many places. Just Google, where can I donate? Here in Westmont, we have PRC, the People's Resource Center, which goes to people in need.
yeah.
Furniture that's in really good condition goes to the Sharing Connection. Goodwill is not your only option, and now they don't take furniture. So, you know, you just Google is my friend when people ask me questions and I don't have an answer. Google whatever comes to your mind.
That's
It's a
awesome.
great place and a great research. And Google the declutter box if you are
Yes,
overwhelmed.
So
yes.
we will be putting Kim's information at the bottom in the comments, okay? So that that way you can always know where to find her. You can also go if you ever go to our site for the health and wellness of you and hit the search engine, you can find some of Kim's other ones that we did with her interviews, so that you could see some of the other, because each time we've talked a little bit about different stuff, you know, and you could do that easily. And with that, I just want to say I hope that you both have a fantastic weekend. I hope we have some sunshine this weekend. I haven't heard, so I don't know. But and anything else at all, Laura? I think we
Oh,
covered.
not at all. This is,
Okay.
I just loved it. I love having you on here, Kim.
Oh,
You're
thank
like
you.
a killer for us. I love it.
Okay.
I love what I do, but I was born to organize, and
Yep.
actually, organizing is inherited. A lot of things that you do, if you're analytical and stuff everything in drawers, it might be the dot that you got inherited in you. You know,
Yeah.
so everything is kind of predestined in a way, and then we create habits from there.
That's awesome. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, thank you again, Kim. Thanks for taking time out
You're
of your time to
welcome.
be here. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Lori and Debbie, both. I wish you a
You.
happy spring.
Absolutely. You too.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye bye.